We all know that Doom Eternal is by far the worst game of the Doom franchise.
I mean, worst one, I don't know about that. I think it's definitely the most different game in the series. I guess I'll agree there. I mean, none of the Doom games are bad, and which one is your favorite or least favorite really is just going to come down to personal preference. If you're not very good at first person shooters, I can see how you would think Doom Eternal is the worst, because I would say it's definitely the hardest. But the idea that Doom Eternal is like the worst designed, I don't know where you're getting that.
3 is better than it. 2016 is better than it. Like, the first two are better than it, obviously, right? Eternal is like this really weird, like, redheaded stepchild that's beloved by all those who weren't around for the older Doom games.
Reboot Doom is widely acclaimed by like everyone. One of the main appeals of Reboot Doom is that it's basically the original Doom, like how you saw it in your head when you played it for the first time, or at least 2016 was like that, and then Eternal was an evolution of that. Like, if the argument you're making is that the only people who like Eternal are the people who don't have experience with Doom, sorry, I'm eating. I just don't know where you're getting that from. Like, there are a lot of people who like 2016 and Eternal who didn't play the originals and didn't grow up on the originals. That's kind of the point of a reboot. But as for that being like the core audience of Reboot Doom, I'm just not seeing that.
And despised by everybody who has. Because
Oh, everyone who's played old Doom despises Doom Eternal. That's news to me.
that is like the reoccurring theme.
I hate when people say reoccurring. It's recurring. Look at this word, recurring. Not reoccurring, recurring.
We've seen with Doom Eternal is that it's worshipped by like underage Zoomer YouTubers, people who never even played 2016.
That is such a specific group of people. You always do this thing where you're trying to dismiss people's opinions. So you're like, the only people who think this are extremely specific group of people that can't possibly represent all of the people you're actually talking about. You do this a lot. You might want to stop.
While everyone else just kind of looks at this and just goes like, yeah, that's not Doom.
I mean, I actually agree that Reboot Doom isn't much like classic Doom. It's really more like classic Quake than anything else. But, original Doom had no verticality at all. So I guess in a moment-to-moment sense, Reboot Doom is more like Quake, but the way it's designed, the philosophies that's designed around, that's definitely classic Doom. I might be getting a little too high concept for you, though. So I guess I'll let you continue and let you get to your really big arguments here. By the way, the title of this video is, Will Doom the Dark Ages be better than the worst Doom game of all time, Doom Eternal? Say Doom one more time and I will pee in my own face.
And, this has happened to me several times where like I start thinking about Doom Eternal again and I forget why I hate it so much.
So you must have not really had a very formulated opinion. Isn't that usually what it means when you have like a visceral hatred or love of something, but you can't actually figure out why? Does that mean that the opinion's very shallow? And you probably shouldn't try to talk about it in any kind of detail or like be an authoritative source on it because you don't actually know what you're talking about by your own admission. It's just a thought.
And every time I had to like rack my brain to think about it. And what ends up happening is that you realize the game is so unbelievably forgettable that you can't remember anything about it.
Doom Eternal is such a forgettable game that 90% of boomer shooters look exactly like it.
Outside of a handful of enemy designs and mechanics and like, some lines of dialogue,
Dude, if you're even gonna try and act like you remember any of the lines of dialogue from Doom Eternal, because, like, let's be real, I love Doom Eternal. I played through Doom Eternal several times. I've beaten on Nightmare twice, once for the Steam achievements and once for the Game Pass achievements. Fantastic game. Wonderful game. I could not tell you a single line of dialogue in this game. Like, if you have real criticisms to make of Doom Eternal, I'm here to hear them, you know? I have plenty of legitimate criticisms of Doom Eternal, but none of my criticisms of Doom Eternal have anything to do with the dialogue, because absolutely no one who plays Doom Eternal is playing it for the dialogue.
The game is utterly forgettable and leaves no impact on you at all. It is an inferior Devil's Third.
Devil's Third. This Devil's Third? This one? Yeah, that one. That Devil's Third. Yeah, not gonna lie, I didn't see that one coming. I guess continue. Please explain this to me.
To put it very, very, very simply, Ninja Gaiden.
So we're not going to explain the Devil's Third thing. Okay, fine, cool. Let's talk about Ninja Gaiden now, I guess.
A 20-year-old game at this point does more, with the idea of one man going up against demons than Doom ever will or ever has, right? Like
Ninja Gaiden and Doom have two very different tones. I guess when you boil the concept down that much, they're similar. One guy going up a big army of demons, or I guess in the case of Ninja Gaiden, one ninja up against an army of ninjas that are sometimes also demons. I guess it is kind of the same concept, huh? Guy versus demons, and both of them are too angry to die. It's just one of them is a first-person shooter, and one of them is a hack and slash. So it's a little weird to compare them, because the gameplay is so utterly different. But, here we are. We got to demean Doom somehow. What is the hate boner with Doom here, though? This is the same guy that had a hate boner for Elden Ring and for Baldur's Gate, because both of them took the spotlight away from Nintendo for one reason or another. But I really don't know I don't know what the hate boner for Doom is about. I hope you'll tell us, because saying it's an inferior Devil's Third and then negatively comparing it to a game in a completely different genre, doesn't do a great job helping me understand.
It's crazy just how much better Ninja Gaiden is, how much more difficult, how much more intense, how much more is going on than Doom Eternal. So much so that the Ninja Gaiden 4 announcement completely overshadowed the Doom the Dark Ages announcement during the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, because Ninja Gaiden 4 was a surprise announcement. Doom the Dark Ages was on the schedule. We all knew it was going to be there. Of course Ninja Gaiden 4's announcement overshadowed the Doom Dark Ages announcement. Doom the Dark Ages wasn't an announcement at the time that Ninja Gaiden 4 was an announcement. That's how announcements work.
Ninja Gaiden is just so much better than Doom. It's not even funny. But
if you prefer hack and slash games to first-person shooters, that's your own prerogative. Nothing wrong with that. But it's weird to compare the genres one-to-one like this. It's like, man, Pokemon and fucking, what's another game with animals and containing animals? Planet Zoo. Pokemon and Planet Zoo. I'm going to compare them one-to-one now, because in both of those games, you can be in possession of animals. It's like, why would I do that? These are two extremely different games with one very loosely connected identifying feature. I would just think that with so many videos that you've made and all the books you've written and just how many arguments you've gotten into online, you would at least get a little bit better at this. What is it with you and really pointless comparisons? This comparison means nothing.
When you really stop to think about it, when you think about the Dark Ages and how it looks and stuff like that,
it looks pretty dark.
you have to ask yourself, is this going to be better than Doom Eternal?
I mean, I don't really know. It looks like it's going to be very different from Doom Eternal. It's going to be much more grounded. It doesn't seem like it's going to be as fast-paced. It's certainly not going to be as vertical or snappy as Doom Eternal. That's not inherently good or bad. I mean, when I first saw the Doom Eternal gameplay, when they first showed off Doom Eternal gameplay, I really wasn't excited for it. As someone who absolutely adored Doom 2016, the first gameplay showcase of Doom Eternal kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It looked a little too cartoony. It looked a little too complicated and too arcadey compared to what came before it, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to be a fan of it. And then, at the end of the day, the game kicked ass. I'm happy to let id Software cook. The gameplay showcase of Doom the Dark Ages definitely makes me more confident than the gameplay showcase of Doom Eternal did, but at the end of the day, that's kind of pointless, because Doom Eternal was a fantastic game, even if I personally wasn't a huge fan of the way they showed off the gameplay at first. Doom, as a franchise, has been pretty all over the place with game pacing and with verticality and with, the actual layout of the game itself. Going from Doom 2 to Doom 3 and then Doom 3 to everything else, and just looking at Doom 1 compared to Doom Eternal, it's a franchise that's been all over the place. So I'm happy to try it for myself, because so far, every single thing they've tried has worked for me. In different ways and to various different degrees, but it's worked.
Because, I do think...
Does it hurt?
That if the developers actually learn from their mistakes with Eternal...
What mistakes, though? Again, Doom Eternal is not a perfect game, but you haven't made one actual criticism of Eternal yet. You said it yourself that you don't even know why you hated it so much. So, what mistakes are you referring to? Are you referring to the goop? The slowdown goop that had no real purpose? Or the swimming sequences, or the stupid tentacle monster things. Those are some of my legitimate grievances with this game. I don't feel like those are going to be what your criticisms are.
That they could make something interesting and fun. I was watching the trailer and I was kind of yeah, this does not look as good as Ninja Gaiden 4, but...
I mean, it's kind of hard to follow up Ninja Gaiden 4 in terms of gameplay reveals. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks like it's going to kick ass. But again, totally different kinds of games. If you're not into first-person shooters, I can totally see why Ninja Gaiden 4 would have such an advantage in your brain. I really like both of these kinds of games, so I'm excited for them both.
Taking that away from it, like looking at like what they were doing with the Dark Ages, like at the very least, it looks like it might be better than Eternal.
I mean, if it's better than Eternal, then we're gonna have to batten down the hatches. Because if those of us who actually play video games end up thinking that Doom: The Dark Ages is better than Doom Eternal, do you realize how fucking good that game is going to be? Like, the scenario you're presenting as like this might happen. Can you imagine if it does?
Like if we get back up to 2016 quality, like this is a step in the right direction. Like this is something that might actually be worth playing again.
It's just so funny to me that you're so dismissive of two of the best first-person shooters of the last decade. You're like, it might be better than Doom Eternal. Like, we might get back up to Doom 2016 standards. It's like, these are two of the most acclaimed shooters ever. If it's not for you, that's fine. It doesn't have to be. I would love it if you actually talked about why Eternal was so bad and why you're so dismissive of 2016.
Like, honestly. And I kind of realized that, like, like after playing Eternal, after playing 2016, after going back to both several times for the past couple of years.
You did not go back to these games several times. You played like the first 10 minutes, then you put it down, and then you replayed like the first 10 minutes, and then you put it down. And like that does not count as you revisiting a game. Let's be real here. You did not finish either of these games. I'm willing to bet you didn't even make it to the halfway point of either of these games.
Yes, I am interested in playing the Dark Ages, but this is something that needs to be said. Like, going into this, coming from someone who absolutely hates Doom Eternal.
For reasons that you've so properly explained.
Like, is the Dark Ages going to be good? Like, is it going to be better than the sloppiest slop that's ever been slopped, Eternal?
Eternal was many things, the least of them being sloppy. Even if you hated Doom Eternal for perfectly legitimate reasons, I guarantee you one of those reasons was not the sloppiness. Eternal is an extremely tightly and intentionally designed game. Now, you may have not liked what it was being intentionally designed for, but that doesn't mean it wasn't very intentionally and meticulously designed.
Like, I don't know. Is the franchise doomed?
He said doomed.
Is my thing. I have a very hard time believing it's going to be worse than Eternal.
Man, Doom Eternal, the way you talk about it, it must have been such a flop of a game. Oh, wait, no, it actually sold gangbusters.
Like, going by that trailer, like, I'm cautiously optimistic for it. I will be re-downloading Steam. I will be, like, looking at, like, upcoming games on the platform. I will be trying to, like,
Why are you sitting like the robot, the bad guy robot from Robots? What the fuck was his name? Oh, what the fuck was his name? I forget what his name is, but the bad guy in Robots, and that he was always standing in that pose on the posters. And I distinctly remember there used to be a Cold Stone down the street from my house where I grew up, and they had a poster on the wall of and it's burned into my brain. When Robots came out, Cold Stone had like a custom, like special limited edition ice cream called Red Pan. I swear to God it was called Red Pan, and I only remember that because it had a picture of the bad guy from the movie with the speech bubble that said like, "You're not ready for Red Pan," and it was weirdly threatening for a fucking bowl of ice cream. I'm begging you, someone in the comments, please validate me. I swear someone else has to remember that.
I will be I will consider buying Doom: The Dark Ages day one. No promises.
What? No promises? But my life is completely dictated by whether or not you're gonna do something.
But like, I said the same thing about like Black Myth Wukong and like Elden Ring back in the day. I never actually did it because eventually, like,
Did you say Elden Ring? It sounded like you said Elden Ring.
It became obvious that those games weren't any good. But like,
yeah, guys, Elden Ring was no good. Black Myth Wukong, that was no good, and nothing's no good. Especially not Doom Eternal.
Yeah, with the Dark Ages, I am considering it. So, yeah, let's see what we get out of this release.
That's the end of the video. That's the end of it. We made it to the end of a Harman Smith video for once. I feel like it's been a minute since we actually got from the beginning all the way to the end of a Harman Smith video. Granted, this video is only 4 minutes and 21 seconds long, and if you were a real YouTuber, you would have cut 1 second out of the video and made it an even 420, because, lol. I really don't have anything intelligent to contribute to this video. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was goofy. Thought it was hee hee ha ha. I have nothing. I have nothing solid to contribute here, but it's okay because neither does Harman Smith, and he makes videos anyways. So I guess I'll do the Doofus Club shoutouts, and we'll call it a day, I suppose. Everyone settle down. I know you've been bouncing off the walls. Just settle the fuck down right now, and we'll do our Doofus Club shoutouts, okay? And it starts like this. Woo! Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Evan Cosa, Sad Freighter, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Carlos Josue Hernandez, Jeromillo, Really Zerd, Gaming with Dead People, Banner Fondue, All Games Video, Mad Rocks 2682, Neon Elec, Max Killer, V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, Firestorm 2056, Yoxer, Where All the Texans At, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepard, Joe is Secretly Furry, Where's Your Fursuit, Blast 1314, Riki Spiral, Riki Tiki Tabby, Ed Omega, Muskie, Tech Manix, I misspelled Fredo, and YouTube made me wait 14 days to fix my name. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Karumi the Steel Angel, You Are Sad Strange Doofus, Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron von Vaderham, The Silver Dragon Cyrus, Joe said it close enough, saving for a motorcycle and can only afford a month, True Texas 940, Sense Nakage, Ziggity, Henonoka's #1 Saudi fan, Creed Warrior 23, Joe got a community full of furries, me included, Wild Gamer 3001, Max Itchev, Devastator 2000, Partial Mean 8, Totally Insane, Even Dead Autry, Black Cobra, Anon Voila, Game Showcases, Vox Auto, Night of a Cipher, Cloaked Onyx, Ninox, Reborn Me with the fan art, Nick, ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, What the Fan Art, Joe from Seattle's Fursuit Dealer, Wolf of Midnight, Steak Rider, The Connoisseur, Pig Venus, Kev Dog 1992, Steve Wynn Studios, Phil McCracken, The Beastums, OM Gaming, Tariq Brown, Tom from Spokane, Hero Culture, Elite, Joe from Seattle has a really big peen, Thornscade, Magnect, X Machina Gamma, Severin Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, It's the Catalonian Frickin' Wine, Mixer Pow Pow, Why Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Gob Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinner, The Doug, Nigsy, Grimsy, Gej, Gaj, Bzan, Shakeyevich, Hangman for Hire, Uldun, The New Blue, Edge Knight 1789, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Gabo P, Yeah, Campso, Ian in Action, Floppy Pangus 97, Michael Musial, Mega Key, Kushka, There's a Scruffy Skull, The Ghost Ho, Mac H, Ryusagi, The Jojo 6, Fast Girl, Femtega, Raptor Tim, Omnisef 96, 96, 94, what the fuck? Mr. Self-Destruct, Blue Hook, Willie JJ, Johnny Bravo, voice acted by Jennifer Coolidge, Snorlaxon, Lego Batman games are great, Jody Breeze, The Almond God, keep playing as Invisible Woman, please, blah, 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 blah. Demetrius Papajolo, make advertisement, Diego Garcia, Hates Maddie, Kibikins, Boofner, I American 80, Rebel Blood 80, Antoine Horton, Doofus Discord, You Can't Ban Me, Console Sim Steers, Hentai, Raven Bloodrot, also Joe, You're Awesome, Justin Mab, Randroid, Tony Wayne, The Highlander was a documentary, Extreme the Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, Puddintain, Joe Taku, I'm the decoy from JTech TV's Doom video, Help, Geekstar, Wannabe Hobo Jidge, Jojo, we need to do a movie night on the Doofusy Discord, Daddy, Bill at 310 Char, Rob C, Veg, The Groovy Banana, Good and Allen's Pack, Swax, Overcharge Blaze, some experts say Joe is a furry. Oh, that was the end of it. Harman Smith video responses. Pepega, okay, toodles.